Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to iceHQ Ice Rink here in Reservoir, Melbourne, Australia, for round 9, game 2, the battle between the Dogs and the Bruins. The winner tonight goes straight through to the grand final series in a fortnight. The loser plays the Inferno, who just cleaned the floor with the Snipers. And they'll be in the semi-final, which is a sudden death game. No one wants to play in that sudden death grand final out of these two, that sudden death semi-final out of these two teams tonight. They would prefer to win tonight and go straight through to the grand final. However, both teams have a second chance. If they lose tonight, they do play against the Inferno next week, so they're not out, which takes a little bit of pressure off the game. But you don't want to play that sudden death game next week, because imagine either one of these two not making the grand final. That'd be catastrophic for their own thoughts and feelings, and they wouldn't like that very much at all. They don't have to win, but it'd be nice. So we can expect a torrid tussle. The Dogs have been on the ascendancy of late. They lost to the Bruins early on in the season before the mid-season draft changed things for them, with the addition of Jamie Burke and trading away Justin Dixon and Matt Karuna. At the time, we weren't 100% convinced that this was a good move, but Jamie has shown us the wisdom of his ways. When he eventually hangs up his skates, I see a bright future in team management and coaching in him. He's done particularly well through these 2 seasons of the Pro League here at iceHQ. The Bruins, by comparison, they started very strong in the season, but they faded a little in recent weeks. With some noticeable absences, they've been exposed up front and undressed behind. 2 losses in a row to the Dogs and the Inferno, and an unconvincing win against the Snipers where they let in 3 goals suggests momentum is not in the Bruins' favour. Win tonight would give them a boost in confidence to get back a bit of the swagger that they had at the start of the season, and I think they're going to need that. The Dogs tonight are without Vadim Vajasov. While he does tend to try and make one too many fancy moves in attack, his combination with Jamie Burke on the breakout is second to none in this league. Will he be missed? Can Byron Schumer make the Dogs fizz in the third line? I guess we'll wait and see. Will the Bruins be able to get through the fierce, snarling defence of Bennett and Robertson? Will those two get caught high and let gaps open up behind them if they go for those big hits and let the Bruins get through? They've got to be mindful of that. The last time these two teams played, the Dogs stole the bones and took a close 3-2 win. So, Gossie and Scott, what are you looking forward to in game 2 tonight?
Well, look, I think it's going to be a great game. Again, as you said, the Dogs are missing Vadim, but they're also missing Cashy Joyce and also Ryan Riddle. Again, 2 players that bring a lot of offense. They've both got a decent amount of points this season so far, whereas the Bruins, I think, are only missing the one player being Matt Karuna. Again, great player, one of the key players for the team, but I think overall, I think the Bruins have managed to retain more of the stronger team. I don't see Christian Pansino out there. He was missed from last week. It doesn't look like he's on the ice at the moment, but again, he's a key player for them.
I'll tell you what, Scott, I think missing Matt Karuna is a big hole in the Bruins.
Oh, it is, for sure. I agree, but that's 1 player for the Bruins, and it's 3 players for the Dogs. So I think as good as Matt is, he's not as good as 3 players.
Well, they looked a lot different, the Bruins, when they got back their captain, Jordan Warren. But if you look back to the season meeting between these two, they've split the games. The first game was a 2-0 win, a shutout for Mikey James, who's really cemented himself this season as one of the top performing goaltenders with a .923 save percentage. But on the other end, you got Austin Lefkowitz with a sparkling 1.76 goals against. So definitely the 2 best tendies going head to head. The Dogs did outscore the Bruins 4-3 the Bruins outscored the Dogs 5-2. In the season meeting. So it's definitely favored the Bruins. But as we know, since Jamie Burke has joined the team here for the Dogs, moving from the coaching box to the ice, they've definitely looked a lot different there on the ice.
The Dogs too, they've had a real emergence of Byron Schumer through this season as well. He's been I'm not going to say revelation, because he's always promised to do it. And last season, when he was playing for the Ducks, he played very, very well there as well, just a little bit unsung, but he's really come on song in probably the last 4 to 6 weeks, and we've seen some fantastic creative play for him. He'll be playing one of the centres tonight for the Dogs, and I reckon he can really light it up too. It's that multi-pronged layered attack, just line after line after line that the Dogs bring, which I think the Bruins are going to struggle with.
I think the other thing that we're going to be guaranteed is going to be a physical game anytime these guys play against each other. There's a lot of physicality. I think the one thing I just caution though is that they can't afford to go overboard, because if you get any sort of suspension, you're going to be missing out in the finals.
Well, the other part about going for those big hits up high ice is if you miss it, and there's a big hole behind you, and Robertson does occasionally get caught in by that, but I think the one that they've got to be particularly mindful of, Ryan Bennett, he does like to go for that big hit up high. If he gets caught and misses it, then the Dogs have a problem.
Well, we're underway for the marquee matchup. A trip to the grand final on offer, and the Dogs collect the puck to start off this first period, and it's Troy Robertson in his own zone. Nice little pass up to Davey Barrett, who chips that over looking for Burke, but that's intercepted there by Bakasulis, and he'll come into the offensive zone. Puck stripped by Byron Tashuma, who leads the Dogs with 11 points so far this season. Sends it over to Burke. Burke back over to Tashuma, but just misses it, and David Nelson able to only get that as far as the point. Robertson chips that in, a awkward little deflection, but Mikey James covers up and does the old stare down onto Davey Barrett, who was looking for the rebound there.
Barrett was just giving Mikey the tap on the glove to say, I'm here. If you missed it, I had it. And neither of those players are wet behind the ears, so no surprise to either of them that happened. But no malice in it, just a bit of a wake-up.
So here's Matt Knox facing off against the Snipers there. One there by Astafiev. Sent it back and chipped through by Jordan Warren. He winds, takes a shot, and just misses the net there as that gets chipped up on the half wall. Puck now with it by Lawschuk. He's twisting and turning, sending it behind the net for Ray Khalil, who had one of his best games of the season last week, where he scored his first goal of the PHL career.
Jack Carpenter there was just appealing for a little bit of a referee's judgment, but he wasn't going to get it. If you don't get the call straight away from the ref, Carps, there's not much point looking for him and saying, hey, why didn't you call that? Because he's not going to change his mind.
So it looks like Christian Pansini was out there playing number 12, but he's actually got a full bubble on, so he must have
that's what surprised me too. Yeah. I saw full bubble. I was like, is that Jordan Warren?
Yeah, no, that's what I thought first as well. Wait, hold on a second, that's not the way that Jordan skates.
I told the players they're not allowed to change equipment mid-season. It confuses us, right?
100%.
So here that's Jamie Burke sending it over to Barrett. He's got that on the off wing, takes a shot, but a save by Mikey James, as he does so often.
Nice pass across ice by Burke. He saw the rush on the other side and the unmarked player just charging in, and that's just exposed a little bit of a weakness in the Bruins defence. They do occasionally let that rush come through the top end of the slot.
So face off here, Barrett against Warren. Barrett wins it, but a nice job there by Buchanan just to get that only as far as the point. A deflection on, but a save. Nice job tracking it by Mikey James. It's Bennett now who gets leveled there by Buchanan, and here come the Bruins. It's Jordan Warren who has it, sends it across, he shoots, and what a save by the American, getting across to rob Gavin Birchler, who broke out last game with a goal and 2 assists.
Well, the Bruins with a 3-on-2 there. The Dogs a bit lucky to get away with that. Only a brilliant save there by Lefkowitz keeping them in it.
So here we are, pinned to the wall there by Nelson was Byron Tashuma. The puck's going to get out and just out of the reach of Bennett, and we've got a race. Luke Buchanan will get there first for the Bruins. He's got Birchler going to the net, but Bennett just rubs him off the puck. Puck now comes behind the net to Buchanan, squirts out in front. Little battle, it's there now. Save there, Lefkowitz, and Robertson able to only get it as far as the half wall, where it's collected by the young Gavin Birchler. He does some nice stick handling, drops it for the Canadian. Back to Birchler, and all he can do is chip that down deep to evade a chance to exit the zone. Back on the ice is the big line, and here's David Barrett sending it over to Burke. Burke just drops it. He gets hauled down. There's going to be a penalty here to the Bruins. Dave Barrett takes a shot. Puck still loose. Still with it is Barrett. Austin Lefkowitz now onto the bench. There's 6 attackers here now for the Dogs. Sends it down to Astafiev. Astafiev looks cross ice. It's now going to get out, and Lockie Walls will bring it out into the neutral zone and let his team tag up. Fisher just sends it back to Walls. He sends that up over to Carpenter. Very patient here are the Dogs, just trying to make sure that they don't give up the possession. As you know, the minute the Bruins touch the puck, it will be a whistle. Here's Fisher now, and to it is the new bubble man, Christian Pansino, who touches the puck, and the all dangerous Dogs will be going on to the power play. Pretty dangerous power play for the Dogs. They're 12. They're second in the league. First in the league actually was the Snipers, who got eliminated in the game before. They've been 23.1% on the power play tonight this season, and the CCM Dogs up to 12%.
Dogs are missing Vadim though, so he's a key part of their power play. So I think that'll make a difference as to how effective their power play is. Definitely.
So stripped of the puck was Ray Khalil there by Maxim Astafiev, but he's able to win it back and send that into the neutral zone. And Lockie Walls will play a little bit of catch here with Jack Carpenter, who sends that up to Stringer. Stringer just walks in, sends it over to Fisher. just evades the check of Khalil and drops it there for Corey. So Corey Stringer now taking it behind the net, back to Carpenter. Carpenter taking a look, sends it through the legs of Keisha down to Astafiev. He wheels into the corner, sends it back to Carpenter, who's going to wind and take a shot through traffic, but a great blocking save there by Mikey James. Puck to the point. Carpenter's going to walk in, take another shot. It's loose. They score! Johnny on the spot is Maxim Astafiev as he pots that goal on the power play to give the Dogs a 1-0 lead.
Ups there with 2 good shots from the point. The second one, the one that gave up the juicy rebound. And Astafiev just there to tuck it away. It's just a case of being in the right place in that case for him. But Carps with some good opportunities there. He was unmarked for quite a while and had a lot of time. The first shot went in quite high. The second one he managed to just get a little bit more control over it, keep it a little bit lower and just get that juicy rebound.
Nothing James could do on that one, but that all started with the time and space that Jack Carpenter was afforded just to step up and make that shot. So here we are, 1-0 early in the first period. Power play goal by the Dogs. Let's see what the Bruins can do in response. Interestingly enough as well, that was the second line for the Dogs out on the ice, so they're able to come back out with the big line of Tashuma, Burke, and Barrett to try to add to the momentum here. Trevor Leo sends that deep. What a great defenseman Leo is. I just love his skating. He just skates so well, which affords him a lot of time and space and gets him into those areas. But here's Byron Tashuma, takes a shot. It's loose, and it squirts out in the corner. James thinks it's under him, but it's not. And he's able to get up now here. So Robertson back to Burke. James trying to get his stick, and what a glove save! Mikey James, there was top left was wide open, and he flashes the leather.
Mikey James was struggling to pick up his stick there, and it kind of left him low and left the top of the net open, and that's what I think Berkey was going for.
Yeah, look at this on the CCM all-out replay.
Berkey comes in straight away afterwards to congratulate James on that save. He thought it was in, but good respect between the two.
There's few goalies in this country that have a glove hand like Michael James, eh? Just ask Logan, how many times has he been robbed, stack the pads, glove save, right? So here's Logchuk deep for the Bruins in the offensive zone. He's going to send that back to Karutzelev, who just whips it over to Nathan Keisha. That puck goes deep now. Back to Keisha, takes a shot. Lockie Wall is able to get that to the point, but Keisha winds up again, but gobbled up there by the big American Austin Lefkowitz.
In that instance, we had one of the Dogs just get a little bit caught out. There was Luke Fisher, just a bit slow on the back check, and he got a streaking Bruin in front of him, and it wasn't until he realised he was about 2 or 3 metres in front that he hit the burners and started to move up. He'll have to just get a bit sharper to keep the Bruins out.
So Lawstruck facing off against Knox. Lawstruck wins it. With it now, drops it there to Khalil, who takes a shot, and just squeezing the armpit there was Austin Lefkowitz, and he covers up, and we'll just do it all again from the same spot.
Yeah, I noticed Knox, he's got a bubble on for today's game as well. It's obviously a trend. He's didn't get the memo from you.
Yeah, I know. Get there quick, guys. Buy the bubbles in the CCM Pro Shop here. They seem to be the trend going around. So here we are. It's Jordan Warren pinned up there by Troy Robertson. Warren's still with it. He gets that onto the half wall and sends that down. And first to it there for the Dogs is Davey Barrett.
So what we're not seeing there from the Bruins is anyone flooding that area in front of the slot. They're sitting a little bit wide, and they're not putting the Dogs' defence under an awful lot of pressure.
Here's Keisha, but a great forecheck by Berkey. He wins that and takes that behind the net. Uses his body just to keep that away from Cash and sends it back to Robertson. Sends that through. Ooh! That was Tashuma just not able to deflect that into the open net, but here comes Burke. Over to Barrett, just misses it, but Tashuma able to get it back to the point. A shot there, kick save by Mikey James. And Luke Buchanan now for the Bruins will try to get that out, but great job by Carpenter to send that deep. Berkey into Barrett, and he just fans on that one, but he's able to collect that puck and just evade the check of Keisha. Tashuma now with it. He's got Carpenter going in and misses him, and that's going to allow Gavin Berkshire to come one-on-one on Troy Robertson. He waits up, takes a shot off the post and out, and that's going to allow an odd man rush down the other way. Lights are off, and I don't know what's going on there.
We'll have a brief break just while the lights get sorted out there. We
I assume they didn't see that went in on the replay.
a few glances being given to the controllers of the systems here.
Yeah.
It's all sorted out now. Right,
I'll tell you what, there's no worse feeling. I mean, a couple weeks ago, I was playing up in the A grade there for beer league, and I made a great glove save, and they called it goal, and they put the horn on, and I was like, no, I got the puck in my glove. Come on, what's going on? So they're all human, not done on purpose. That was a hell of a shot, but probably a disservice to the Dogs as they were off the other way with momentum. And here we are, 1-0 lead here with 7 minutes remaining here in the first period. It's deep in the Bruins zone, and first to it will be the Canadian David Nelson as he evades a check from Luke Fisher. It's Pansino battling against two Dogs here, and picking it up is David Nelson, and we'll go 2-on-2 the other way. It's Freight Ray, Captain T-Blades, if you must, who takes a shot, and juggling it a little bit there was Austin Lefkowitz, but he covers that one, and I think just looking over at the score box, we know that one was for sure no goal, right?
You can see the back check there in the coverage, but Trevor Leo, he's one of the great unsung players here of this league. He read it beautifully, and he just shut it all the way down, and he left his challenge until the right moment to cut down on the probability of a good shot.
I think, when it comes to Trevor Leo, he's so smart with the puck, and he plays so well defensively. You sometimes forget what kind of offense he can provide as well. If you watch him in the beer league, I know I played against him last night, and he came down on a rush from back and put it bar down short side. So, when he gets the chance to move forward, he can, but he's just so smart, and he plays defense-first hockey, which is very important for defenders here as well.
He's right. He's cut from the same mould as Steve Belloc. They'll come up on the odd occasion that it's appropriate to do so, but I know their primary responsibility is being unscorable against. And he does that extraordinarily well. Trevor Leo is a great, beautiful skater, and he played so well for the Ducks last season as well. It is an absolute delight to see him back check and cover.
So face-off here to the right of Austin Lefkowitz, won by the Dogs. It's Troy Robertson who sends that down the length of the ice, and the race is on. But Mikey James, probably understanding Berkey was going to get there first, decides to come out and does a little pump fake and able to send that up to Krutzelov. Puck out now. It's Luke Buchanan through the neutral zone, sending it over to Warren, who's one-on-one with Bennett. He just keeps protecting the puck there, using his body, walks the line, curls back. He's now got some time and space. He winds, takes a shot off the blocking arm there of Lefkowitz, and now a battle there between Barrett and Krutzelov. Bennett gets knocked down, and Barrett sends that down the length. The icing waved off, so James comes out to send that up to Nathan Keisha.
The Bruins run a power play just now.
Oh, for sure. There we go. Nathan Keisha coming in and taking the shot there. And Ray Cleo out in front to Keisha. Oh! Austin Lefkowitz. Split glove save. He stares down Mikey James down the other end and says, anything you can do, I can do better. What a save by the American.
Great play by the Bruins. They're creating opportunities, and it was a great shot, but an even better save.
So I guess we missed that one there. The Dogs, it was Maximus Stafiev getting the penalty there for delay of game. We're shooting the puck out of the zone. So there's 40 seconds remaining on the power play here for the Bruins. And they've got Lozchuk out here facing off against Tashuma. Face-off scrum there, and coming out with it is going to be the Bruins, and they get a shot, and that goes wide. First to it is going to be David Nelson, and he'll chip that up looking for Ray Khalil. But it'll chip out. We got the knuckle puck shot. If you're a Mighty Ducks fan, didn't have the same result. But out comes the Dogs, and they'll send that down to the length of the ice. And who else but the quick Corey Stringer first to it for the Dogs. So that'll do it for the power play for the Bruins. One or two good scoring opportunities, and if it weren't for the windmill save by the big American, this game could have been tied. Chip out there by Pansino, and it's a race to the puck, but out to it is going to be Austin Lefkowitz. And Lockie Walls isn't quite the fan of the stop right in front of his netminder. I think Austin probably prefers water of the water bottle kind instead of the one that has to melt on your face after you get snowed.
You certainly don't want that stuff in your eyes. It did look like it was a fair contest, though. So
Yeah, nothing wrong there.
No.
Nothing wrong there.
Equally, nothing wrong with what the defense did as well. You got to stand up for your goalie.
Yep. If someone gets in your goalie's face, they're going to be reminded of the unwise action that got them there in the first place.
So face-off scramble, but won by the Dogs. aggressively pushing up there. Oh, getting good work there by Ivan Kruslev in defence. Sticks with his man. Up the boards to Buchanan. Buchanan has possession, got a bit of space there. Nice pass to the middle.
You can see how the Bruins are leaving space in the slot a lot for the Bruins with the Dogs when they come up in attack.
Bruins good opportunity there in the slot, but couldn't quite release the puck.
Nice one of stuff, yeah.
Nice pass there by the Dogs, but couldn't quite finish. Jordan Warren with a clean shot. Nice save there by Austin and for the Dogs goaltender. Bruins maintaining a lot of possession in this play between whistles. Luke Buchanan just sends it in deep, but now possession with the Dogs. Dogs just dump it down, and Bruins get the puck, take it behind the net, slow the play down a little bit. Some changes happening by the Bruins here. It looks to chip it up the boards, but doesn't quite complete. Jamie Burke gets a puck back to Carpenter, who takes a shot on net, and a nice save there by MJ.
Some beautiful vision there by Byron Schumer. He got in on the half boards, and I looked up and saw the Dog sitting in the high slot as a great passing opportunity through traffic. Some great play there. It was Schumer who kept the puck in on the forecheck and created that scoring opportunity.
I think that's one of the key differences we've seen this period in this game so far, is that the Dogs are far more aggressive with their forecheck.
So the race is on here. It's Bennett against Khalil. Icing going to be waved off as Khalil gets there first and chips it over there to Pansino. The Bruins now have it with Pansino as he battles against two Dogs, and a pinch there by David Nelson allows a puck to squirt into the slot area, and he's quick to get back to the point and keep that one in. Pansino with it. He's got Khalil in front of the net and just checked at the last moment by Barrett. Otherwise, he had a one-time opportunity. Carpenter just chips it out, looking for Burke. A nice touch by Burke. He twists and turns. He's got Barrett coming in late as the third man, pinned up there by Nelson, and that's going to allow the puck to come out only momentarily. And now a little battle between Nelson and Burke, and it looks like Burke's going to be getting 2 minutes or less or more potentially, and we'll just see whether or not the Bruins get a penalty as well.
Yeah, Jamie Burke knew he was getting a penalty there for the slashing, so I think he looked to see if he could get one from the other side, which it looks like he succeeded in. Looks like Nelson's taken one too.
There we go.
So 4-on-4 for 2 minutes, which I can't help but think will play into the hands of the Dogs. They're getting a bit better through the a bit more movement, a bit more depth through their attack.
So 30 seconds, 20 seconds, maybe 15 seconds once the puck drops. 1-0 game here for the Dogs off a great goal by Maxim Astafiev on the doorstep. And
I'm not sure we're even going to get the face-off with the referee still discussing the situation with the scorers. We can't start till they've got attention.
Yeah, it looks like they're just going to end the period. I think what they're deciding is it's going to actually be a 5-on-4, I believe, is what Warren's saying. So 2 minutes each for roughing and then the 2 for the slash. But we'll end the first period as they make the decision on the penalties here.
So coming through into the end of the first, it is a 1-goal lead to the Dogs. They've had most of the game in terms of quality possessions and rushes, but they've given away a couple of chances to the Bruins, kept in nicely by Lekowitz with a beautiful save halfway through the period. We're all tied up on shots on the net as well. As we know, it is a misleading statistic, 9-on-9, but it's a fairly good reflection at the moment of the evenness of the game, and the score also is pretty close at the moment. A high-quality game with a little bit of passion popping up into it now. Boys, what's going to happen in the second?
I think we'll see more passion.
Yeah,
we'll see more passion.
Both these teams want to win it. I think if you just watch that there, just in front of the scorer's box, that was Warren and Burke just talking with the officials. And what it looks like will happen is David Nelson's going to get 2 for roughing, and Berkey's going to get 4. So 2 for the slash and 2 for the rough. So we'll go 4-on-4 for 2 minutes, and then Nelson will come out of the box, and we'll have a 2-minute power play for the Bruins.
I think if the Dogs can maintain the level of forecheck that they're doing just now, I think that's going to work well for them. It worked well in the first period, and I think that will continue. So Bruins need to work out how they can adapt to that, either reciprocate with more forechecking themselves, or trying to create some space.
What they're missing is Karuna with that breakaway. He certainly did most of the damage in the first game against the Dogs, and that's where the Dogs do occasionally get caught out with the D getting a little bit high. Carpenter, for example, he does like to get high and really involve himself in an attack, and sometimes that leaves you open behind, and Karuna would see that and run, and now he's not here. And so the Dogs can get away with that a little bit more. You won't see it from behind guys like Stringer or from Leo. They're going to be back, and Knox, they'll be back fixing that up. But
in addition to Caruana, it's also Josh Walt. Right, Walt and Warren, they do so well with one another, and Walt doesn't seem to be doing these flashy plays always, but he's a really good player there. So as you can see, you got Luke Fisher hopping into the box as well. So we'll actually start 5-on-4 for the game right now. Bruins power play.
Yeah, we have seen the Dogs score plenty of shorties, but usually through Burke and Vajasov. Vajasov's not here and Burke's in the box, so that's not going to happen. But they have some potent attack. I'd be looking for Schumer to possibly make himself be present in this. They're all going to get a go on this PK. There's a lot of penalty to kill.
For you guys at home, I guess they're calling it coincidentals in there. But here's Luke Buchanan looking for a break in, and glove save there by Lefkowitz, and hopefully you could see hear David Nelson making his little call there from the box. He was excited.
Like Luke Buchanan, he's actually a past teammate of mine in the Sharks. He's got amazing hands and a great finish as well. His skating has definitely improved as well. He came from an inline background, and that was one of the areas he had to work on, and you can see it's definitely working for him.
Battling in front there with Troy Robertson, and great save by Lefkowitz. Puck comes back behind the net. It's Warren looking across for Birchler, but intercepted well by Matt Knox, who's going to send that all the way down the length of the ice.
Knox almost getting it picked up there by Stringer on the breakdown the far end, putting the forecheck on.
Bruins now have it through Keisha. Heads up there. He's being watched by Knox, just forced back, and he just pokes that across, and now it's a 50-50 battle between Stringer and Krutzev. The Bruins now through their captain, Jordan Warren. He just drops that for Buchanan, sends that deep, and Warren will battle with Walls. Birchler has it now, sends it back to the point. Krutzev, who has a seeing eye shot from the point as well, sends it across. Birchler now with a shot, and a great kick save there by the American Lefkowitz. Birchler chips it back to the point. Krutzev takes a shot, deflected by Buchanan, but deflected the wrong direction as that went into the netting instead of the back of the net.
It was a pretty good shot, actually. I don't think Lefkowitz saw that coming. There was a pretty decent screen. There was probably 2 or 3 bodies. We were looking straight down the sight line of that puck as Krutzev took the shot, and he could see open net. A bit of a lucky save there.
So face-off won by the Bruins, but Bennett not able to get it out. That's Pansino that has it in the corner. He's battling one-on-one with Bennett, gets some support through Lawschuk, who chips that in front to Craig Khalil, and he momentarily had a great scoring opportunity, but that deflected off the defenseman's stick and wide. Lawschuk and Pansino battling down in the corner. There's 3 Dogs and 2 Bruins. The power play now over. It's 5-on-5, and there is a couple minutes here remaining for the rest.
Yeah, I think the Luke Fisher wasn't meant to step back on the ice there, because the power play is still on the clock at the moment.
A little bit of confusion amongst the officials here as to who should be on the ice and who should not. But that'll all get sorted out very shortly. The Dogs have done a pretty good job so far of managing to keep the puck out of the net. The Bruins have had a few good opportunities, weren't quite able to finish it off. We're still discussing whether it's a 5-on-4 or 4-on-4 or who knows what at the moment.
I think it's still 5-on-4 for the Bruins. It would be my
Luke Fisher just being
guess.
Dragged back over to the box to pop himself back in again. So a little bit of confusion happening over here at the scorer's area, but it's all under control now, and it will still be 5-on-4 for another while. I think they paused the clock by the look of it.
Yep.
While they sorted that out.
Yeah, look, I think probably Luke Fisher didn't need to be in the box, because I think they gave Jamie 4 minutes alone. But anyway, it's all good. Still minute 30 left on the power play here, and David Nelson, who's fresh out of the penalty box, out on the ice there, looking to send it up to Bakasulis.
The Dogs running a neutral zone trap on their
Here's
penalty kill when the pucks come through at first too, which is working quite well for them.
So Ray Khalil there on the boards, but that was Carpenter able to get the puck out of the zone. And here comes Pansino. He's looking in on Astafiev, sends it through to Lawschuk, back to Khalil, but a nice block there by the shin pads of Jack Carpenter. That's why you buy the CCM shin pads, eh? Protect those shins.
You just see how the Dogs' defence all collapsed back to protect that zone, and they did it beautifully well. There was no room at all for the Bruins.
So Bakasulis here battling against Barrett. Barrett does a great job, able to just get that back to Bennett. Carpenter now chips it up, and here we go. It's a 2-on-1. Astafiev with
Nice
Davies
back check
in
by
just there.
Buchanan, but I think he's getting called for
A slash. So that'll end the power play for the Bruins. And in 30 seconds, we'll have the Dogs back out on the ice, and we'll have a power play going the other way.
And Astafiev there just taking a page from the Vadim Vajasov textbook of just try and do one too many puck handles before he got the shot away. So just try and get a bit more quick release, because if you carry it too far, you always get shepherded into the corner and lose the opportunity. And he didn't have anyone charging down the middle to pass to.
So here we are on puck drop. The Dogs, Luke Fisher, will be out on the ice. Saved by James, and the Bruins are now on the penalty kill. It's Maxim Astafiev taking it into the corner. He's just going to curl away from Knox, and he'll look to send that down the length of the ice. But Troy Robertson, great poise and anticipation, was already back there. Fisher, fresh off a 2-minute sit, able to get out on the ice. But Krutzev collects it again, and he dumps that all the way around. So trading power plays here. Not too many scoring opportunities since the first period. Still a 1-goal lead here for the Dogs. Here's Knox with a nice move. Chips that in front, and it was Moat there momentarily. And on the goal line, but knocked away, and there's a whistle. I'm not sure why.
I think the ref just lost sight of it.
Yeah, look at this on the CCM all-out replay. It was there for the taking, but a great save by the blocking arm of Mikey James, and then cleared by Karutsev. Probably a little bit of an early whistle that favors the Bruins as it kills off a few more seconds of the power play.
Nice face-off win there with back to Troy Robertson. Troy passes along to the defenseman. Nice pass to the slot to Luke Fisher, who just gives a slow shot in the middle, and no one knew what was happening there, including Mikey James. But the puck gets pushed out by the Bruins, dumped down into the zone, and Troy Robertson comes back to get possession.
Yeah, Fisher's shot there, an interesting one with absolutely nothing on it at all.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe
but again, that could throw everybody, including the goaltender.
I think it also threw Fisher.
Matty Knox taken into the zone, gets pushed up against the boards there in the corner by Kasia. Dogs maintain possession, cycle it behind the net. Bruins take over the puck. Kasia puts up the boards, and the puck gets out of the zone. Jordan Warren pressuring the Bruins player there. Christian Pansino, nice hands by Pansino to get the puck. Takes a hit, but puts the puck into the middle of the net. Unfortunately, doesn't quite connect. A lot of good pressure there by the Bruins. Not giving them any space. Christian Pansino gets the puck, takes it behind the net. Still has the puck. Big hit there.
Troy Robertson never turns away from one of those big hits, eh?
He's always going to take it when he gets the chance, Mr. Robinson, without a doubt. He's one of those guys you don't want to meet in a dark alley.
He plays a good physical game, but a clean game. But he doesn't mind getting into the trenches when it's necessary. Shot and a nice save there. Mikey James kicks out wide. Dogs maintain possession behind the net. So Baron Struma takes a shot, and Mikey James makes the save, but I think it hits netting.
Yeah, it went all the way up to the ceiling.
Jamie Burke finds his way back onto the rink. He had to wait till a stoppage in play for that double minor that he accumulated, but he'll be back in the fray very shortly, no doubt, and we'll see some Jamie Burke sparkle, which is what we love to see here at iceHQ. There's nothing more entertaining and exciting than Jamie Burke when he's on a roll with a bit of fire in his belly and a desire to score some goals, and he has that tonight.
Back to 5-on-5 hockey, although the Bruins looked like they wanted to have 6 there for a few seconds.
Hey, the refs are going to let you do it. Why not, right?
Puck's cleared out of the zone by the Bruins. Hard pressure there by the Bruins player. Trevor Leo gets the puck, passes up the boards. Doesn't quite connect. Bruins passing it over to Nelson. He takes it over the line, but that was offside. But puck came straight out, so managed to avoid the call there. Birchler has possession. Nice pass up the middle. Jordan Warren's pushing up. Right in the middle of the... Oh, nice. He was just giving far too much space, and a great goal there by Jordan Warren.
There we are. A captain's goal ties the game. Jordan Warren with his leading goal here now for the Bruins. He is up to a beautiful, sparkling 6 goals so far this season.
That is a classic case of a defensive team just letting that space up here at the top of the slot. It's a prime scoring opportunity, and they just let Jordan Skate cut in, and the defence wasn't there to shut down his options. As a result, I'm not going to say it's an easy goal because they never are, but
certainly not against Mikey James.
No.
And here come the Bruins again, a chip up by Birchler looking for Buchanan, and this is the game that we were all hoping for, a tight contest between two of the best teams we've seen so far this year. Puck drop there for Burke, sent in for Tashuma, and out challenging was Mikey James, and he was able to collect that, and that just missed the stick of Bennett, and hopefully you guys at home can't read lips, because that was an expletive that he definitely said when he wasn't able to keep
Burke
that
was
in.
on the burst in there to try and pick up that rebound too. Pretty lucky there, the Bruins, to get away with that one.
So puck here now with Bennett. He sends it across. It's Maximus Stafiev who's had a great game so far today. He's had lots of energy, and all done through his skating. It's Carpenter now, just stutter step walks, being checked well by Karutsalev, who just prevented him from being able to get a shot, and Burke not able to find Tashuma. Astafiev now has it. He's going to chip that back behind the net for Tashuma. Back to Astafiev. Chipped in front of the net, and Karutsalev now will chip that out. And in space is Luke Buchanan. It's 2-on-2. Gavin Birchler going to the net. He collects it, takes the shot, saved, and it's just there pinned on the post. That took an awkward bounce as it nearly come back off the back of the skate and in the net, but the big American Austin Lefkowitz able to keep his skate tight on that post. Look at this on the CCM all-out replay.
Particularly awkward position there for him with the puck. It was jammed just under the edge of his skate. And,
great back check.
You can't get your hands down there either. Great back check too by Berkey to shut down the pass across the Birchler.
Here's Corey Stringer, who evades the check of Bakasulis, but across comes David Nelson and knocks the big South Australian. Here is it, Nelson now chipping it across over on the half wall. Chipped high into the air, and Ray Khalil will go in on Troy Robertson. That's one guy that also loves to hit is Ray Khalil. He throws the body on Robertson. Puck comes out. It's off the stick of Khalil. Just misses Lawschuk. Khalil now over to Nelson. Across in front of the net for Lawschuk, and that chips out into the corner. Lawschuk lays the body on Robertson again, and that was Barrett finding Knox. It's a 2-on-1 now. Knox and Stringer. Knox in front. Takes it. Save. Shot just misses the net. Mikey James gets over and just did enough to throw Corey Stringer off as he wasn't able to knock that into the back of the net. And Mikey James looks a bit sore after that one.
Corey Stringer too, a little bit sore, but I think sore mentally rather than physically. That puck was in the net for all money.
Yeah, I think Mikey James is looking a bit sore there. That's something we'll have to keep watch on.
So
He's been playing big so far.
Warren to it first. He beats out the icing. He takes that into the slot. It's on his backhand, though. He'll curl over to the forehand, throw that on, but it just hit Nelson. And now the Dogs are coming the other way. It's Berkey and Tashuma. Tashuma just off his stick, collects it. Spins in the half wall, sends it in front, and just misses the stick of Carpenter. Astafiev back down to Carpenter. Carpenter cross ice, off a skate, and here comes Birchler. He's one-on-one with Trevor Leo, takes it wide. Leo throws the body, not able to knock down Birchler. Tashuma chips it up to Burke, and the Dogs should be able to get out now as they pass that up to Carpenter. He gets pinned on the boards by Warren, and Jamie Burke comes out and hands up now looking for offside. I thought momentarily it might have been for a penalty there on the extra fisticuffs there by Jamie Burke on the Bruins captain, but he evades a penalty there. Carpenter comes in, passes it over to Fisher. Khalil now sends a spread, and here comes Birchler again, one-on-one on Leo. I sound like a broken record. That's kept in, and look at that, the reverse hit by Ray Khalil on Maxim Astafiev. And he shows the young man what you need to do with a big man's strength.
That would be Canadian truculence, if I'm not mistaken.
That is for sure, and Ray Khalil, I'll tell you, there's a reason why they call him Freight Ray.
Yeah, the temperature of this game is definitely going up by a couple of degrees.
There we go. There's another hit there by Pansino. So the bodies are flying here. Pansino in, walks around. Carpenter takes the shot off the arm there of Lefkowitz and in. Puck reverse. This looks like playoff hockey if you ask me. Back and forth, truculent, physical, scoring opportunities.
And the Dogs will have to come back. Leo was desperately trying to get a change. He'd been stuck out there for a good minute and a half. Because it's an icing call, the defending team is not allowed to get a change.
Well, Leo's been out there for quite some time, but Maxim Astafiev's also had 3 or 4 hits this period. This shift, right?
He's had the wind knocked at him a couple of times. So the Dogs are going to be desperate to try and get a change. The Bruins, if they can keep them pressed in tight here, they've got a really good opportunity.
So here we are, face-off, Knox against Warren. Warren tries to go forward, and with it now is Maxim Astafiev. He'll send that over to Fisher, and they'll look to get that puck deep, and that was Astafiev. He just wanted to get off, and they finally get to make the change here as the puck goes down the length of the ice. Icing waved off.
So Bennett and Robertson, the 2D on at the moment for the Dogs. That's the ones who like to hit.
And here's Jamie Burke with the puck. Sends it across over to Knox. Knox winds, little toe drag to get around Bakasulis. Pinches it back, and Birchler sends it up to Buchanan. So it's a 3-on-2 now with David Nelson joining the rush. Buchanan drops it for Nelson. Nelson with a shot. Kick saving. Oh, it nearly goes over the glove arm, but goes into the corner there. What a great opportunity there for the Bruins. But the captain of the Dogs, Jamie Burke, now has it behind his net as he gets his team to wind up, and he sends a high one down the length of the ice, and Knox will now skate on it if it weren't for Mikey James. Frenetic period. The temperature has definitely increased. You could say maybe that win by the Inferno has started a little fire in the building. Could we not?
No one wants to play. Neither of these teams want to play the semi next week because I know the Inferno is a real threat.
Yeah,
they want to try and get themselves through to the grand final unscathed. The winner of this game goes through to the grand final. The loser plays the Inferno, and we saw the Inferno are pretty powerful. And Steve Bellick's boys are on a roll. So there's a bit at stake now.
Even game, 1 goal apiece, shot 17-16 in favor of the Bruins. Not much to divide these teams. Both have been physical and taking away all the time and space that we often see in here. That's Bennett looking across for Burke, but just couldn't find him. He gets rubbed off by Karutsalev, but Tashuma comes in to support his captain, and the puck now will squirt only as far as the half boards, and now we'll get out. That's Lawschuk who runs into Robertson, but the Bruins able to collect it here. Oh, just misstepped. It was Pansino, and that's going to allow the Dogs to keep it there just by the blue line. Here we go. Christian Pansino with a move there, and the stick loose there, and there will be a penalty here to the Dogs. It'll be Ryan Bennett, I believe, that'll be going to the box for 2 minutes for hooking.
This is one of the weaknesses that the Dogs do occasionally have, is they do tend to spend more time in the box than you'd like. We've certainly seen it throughout the season. It's a passionate thing when you get a dog riled up, they do tend to bite, and these dogs have a bite, and sometimes they can get themselves pinned down in the box. So they're going to have to kill a penalty now. The last penalty was successful for the Bruins.
Yeah, it's both teams are 0 for 2 here on the power play. And the Bruins are leading or second actually in the season with 92% penalty kill. The leading team in the penalty kill is actually these Dogs, who have went 96.3% so far this season.
So they'll be looking to kill out the rest of this period and keep the score where it is. They've only got about 1 minute and 20 seconds to go, and just a smidge more left on the penalty. So they will be starting the third period with 20 seconds of power play, of penalty kill as well.
So a shot by Warren, nice save there by Lefkowitz. He's down. It comes back to Bakasulis, over to Warren. Warren being watched by Knox, sends it down to Buchanan in front for Birchler. He just misses that, and now Knox will be able to come one-on-one on the Bruins captain. Knox on Warren, and that sends it down. Just a mistake I said before. The Dogs, as you said, Carl, they scored their first goal on the power play, so they're 1 for 2, and the Bruins are 0 for 2 so far.
It was the big reach there by Corey Stringer that got the Dogs out of trouble. He's got such long arms. There was a loose puck floating around. He managed to just get some stick on it and clear it out, and that's what created another opportunity. We've got 30 seconds to go in the period and 50 seconds to go on the power play for the Bruins. It's going to be
Bakasulis parade into the box now as they negate the rest of their power play, and we'll play some more 4-on-4 until the Dogs get about 1.5 minutes.
We might get about 10-15 seconds of 4-on-4, and then the second period will be starting with 4-on-4 for not very long as well.
So here we are, face off to the right of Mikey James. Burke facing off against Lawschuk. It squirts out here to Fisher. Back to Robertson. Shot deflected by Burke, but deflected wide. Carpenter sends it in front to Burke, and that's all she wrote so far. 19 seconds remaining in the penalty to Bennett. Leaves this 4-on-4, even Stevens. What do we think, guys?
Well, we're going to come into the long break now. The Bruins have a little bit of thinking to do. They've got a couple of opportunities, but on the whole, they've given the Dogs a bit too much space through the front of the slot, whereas the Dogs have usually run a better controlling space in front of the area in front of the net. So Leskovich hasn't had to do too many particularly challenging saves, but Mikey James has had to be a little bit more involved, I guess is the best way to put it. So it's going to be an interesting third period. If it was me, I'd be leaning towards the Dogs.
Yeah, I think so too. Like with all these penalties, that kind of does wear out your D, especially if they're having to play 5-on-4 for a lot of the game, which obviously the Dogs have been doing. But I think with the aggressive forecheck of the Dogs, they're creating better and cleaner opportunities. But look, it's anyone's game. It'll be a very interesting third period.
It certainly will. So we're all tied up at 1 goal apiece at the end of the second. This is the game that we wanted to see, not necessarily the game that either the Dogs or the Bruins wanted. They'd like a bit more of a lead and a bit of padding, but they don't have it. So we instead have a spectacle. The shots on the net in the first period was 9 goals apiece, and in the second period the Bruins outshot the Dogs 9-8 and scored 1 goal in the second, and that was to... Who got it? Jordan Warren got that one, assisted by Freight Ray. And in the first period, Maxim Astafiev got the first goal, assisted by Carpenter and Stringer, and that was on the power play. So we will take a break now while the ice cut is done, and we'll be back at 5 minutes past 10 for the third period of what promises to be an absolute cracker of a game.
This game is our canvas.
Our choice, our freedom.
It's my way.
And mine.
And mine.
And mine.
It's the only way.
The ice doesn't discriminate.
It doesn't see color or gender.
All it sees is 60 minutes of pure effort.
A pure fun.
On the ice, we might be enemies.
But in the end, we're all allies.
This game's for everyone.
No matter who you are,
No matter where we're from, we're all ready to hit the ice.
Welcome back to iceHQ for the third period of this thriller here at Hockey Night in Reservoir at iceHQ, where we are watching the game between the Dogs and the Bruins. This is the game where we are all about trying to guarantee a place in the grand final. The winner tonight goes straight through, and the loser tonight has to play the Inferno next week in a semi. And they don't want that because the Inferno are on a roll. Steve Bellick is on a mission, and you wouldn't want to play them next week if you can avoid it. So the winner of this last period, we're all tied up at 1 goal apiece, is going through to the grand final in a fortnight. So it's been a very, very interesting game. It's had a bit of physicality, a little bit of passion, you might say, some heat, and certainly a lot of highly skilled playing. It's been a bit of a thriller so far. Maxim Astor, fifth, scoring the first goal in the first period for the Dogs, and then on the power play, Jordan Warren scoring back for the Bruins in the second, around about halfway through. The second period was full of penalties, and in fact we'll be starting the third with the Bruins on a penalty and the Dogs on a power play, if I'm not mistaken.
20 seconds, 19 seconds of 4-on-4.
And then it goes into the numerical advantage for the Dogs for about a minute and a half. So this third period will start with a slight advantage to the Dogs. They've typically had most of the run of the game so far, but the Bruins have taken their chances when they've had them. And we're about to get underway in the third. 18 minutes of thrilling hockey to decide who goes through to the grand final and who has to play for the second chance next week. So if they do lose, it's not a disaster for the losing team, but it's a bit of a ascendancy issue, as these teams would probably want to play each other in the grand final series again in a fortnight. We'll see how that goes.
So here we are, face-off won by the Dogs. Byron Tashuma battling there with Pansino, but Pansino wins out with the puck. He's got it, takes a shot, but shoots that high and wide. Just going back, I mean, unsurprisingly, both goaltenders, these are the two top goaltenders of the season. They're both well over 900 save percentage, both flashing the leather on a number of great opportunities. But I've been very impressed with Astafiev. He's been skating really well. He's been taking a lot of hits as well and not shying away. And Ray Khalil, who's on the ice here for the Bruins, he's got an assist today. So that's 2 straight games with a point. You know, we've seen him move up to forward the last 2 games, and he looks good there on the forecheck, leading the Bruins here with hits so far in this game.
And the power play now starts for the Dogs.
So puck deep now in the Bruins zone. It's Davey Barrett behind the net. He gets rubbed off there by Krutzev, and Pansino's able to collect it, but only get it as far as Jamie Burke. He walks in, winds up, takes it with the patience. Trickles it through the blue. He outweighted Mikey James, but couldn't put it in between those posts there.
The Bruins gave Berkey way too much room there.
Oh, and another nice move by Burke. He falls down, and with that, we're going to have a penalty, and it'll be Karutsalev who will go for tripping. And we'll have a 20 seconds maybe by the time puck drop goes with a 5-on-3 before Bakasulis joins back on the ice.
It'll be a bit more like 15 seconds, I reckon, Gossie, but it will be then a sustained power play for the Dogs. We're going to get 5-on-3 for maybe 10 seconds if they're lucky, as there's a little bit of stalling going on from the Bruins. It's not suggesting that's a professional foul, but it's a professional foul.
So here we are, face-off won by the Bruins. It's Carpenter who takes a shot. Ooh, James thought he gloved that, but it just sat there momentarily, and with that, that'll allow Bakasulis back on the ice, and we'll have a 5-on-4 power play for the Dogs.
But some great sustained pressure chance here for the Dogs. This is the third minute now of numerical advantage. It does make a big difference.
Trevor Leo has it, center of the ice, takes a shot, shoots that wide, but the rebound collected by Nelson. All he can do is send it up to Carpenter for the Dogs, and he'll send that down for Astafiev, looking across for Knox. Defended well by Nelson, and he gets that out, and to it is Gavin Birchler, and he's got his captain Jordan Warren with him, but decides to take the shot, and a save by Lefkowitz as Jordan Warren now collects it on the half wall. So shorthanded here, the Bruins. Jordan Warren pinned on the wall by Astafiev. Trevor Leo comes in to support his D partner, and the Dogs will now get it out, but only to the neutral zone.
We've got to give a lot of credit there to Trevor Leo for shutting down that opportunity. He took the passing lane away and gave Lefkowitz only the one player to have to worry about. Beautiful defensive work there by Leo.
And for you defenders watching at home, that's what you want to do for your goalie. Trust him to make the save on the first shot and take away that opportunity that forces him to move laterally. So Dogs not able to get sustained pressure here. David Nelson knocks it out. That's off the stick, and with Luke Fisher touching the puck, that's going to be offside.
I don't think Luke realised that the puck had bobbled out and that he was offside there. He's had head down and digging for it, but we've got about 30 seconds left on this power play for the Dogs. It hasn't been particularly productive for them yet. They've had a couple of opportunities, but
it's
not able to finish it off.
Good PK by the Bruins. You know, the best defense is offense. That's what they're showing us here.
So that was Khalil that walked up, and here comes Troy Robertson. Well done by Tashuma to stop himself from sliding over the blue line. And he collects the puck, takes the shot, but gobbled up by Michael James.
And the drop of the puck will see the end of the power play for the Dogs. A couple of opportunities, but also a excellent 2-on-1 break back through almost a chance for a shorty by the Bruins earlier on.
Chris Level will be hoping for the big stretch pass when he comes out of the box there, but Dogs keep possession.
Bennett sends it deep, and it's Jamie Burke now that has it. He curls up on top of the circle, sends it across over for Robertson. Robertson collects, takes a shot, deflected in by Byron Tashuma for his team-leading 12th point of the game of the season as he puts the Dogs up 2-1.
That's exactly what we expect from Schumer. He gets into position and has a great opportunity there just to put it away. And good vision too, Robinson, to see him with that unmarked stick down on the ice. Again, we're talking about lessons for novice players. If you're in the slot with your stick on the ice, you're a great target. And Byron just doing the simple thing there, but doing it really well.
Yeah, it was a great shot and pass over by Troy Robertson. He knew what he was doing. And again, as you said, Carl, any player, if you want the puck on your stick, show them. Put the puck there and show that you want it. And that's exactly what happened. It was a nice, clean goal. So possession there by the Bruins, still in the defensive zone, just battling for the puck over in the corner. Nice feed up to the middle, but couldn't quite control it by the defense there between Troy Robertson and Bennett.
Yeah, Bennett was calling for it for quite a while. He figured he was unmarked, but very quickly the Bruins picked him up.
I didn't quite see what happened there. There was a lot of pressure there by the Bruins, but he seemed to get hit in the face in some way. Dogs have possession though. Burkey drops it off. Number 9 puts it deep. Oh, nice possession there by Tashuma. He's looking for Burkey, but he can't quite feed the puck to him.
Schumer doing great work there behind the net in Gretzky's office, just trying to circle around. He's free again, Gets the shot through traffic.
What a save by Mikey James.
And James just kept the Bruins in it there.
Oh, Christian Pansino with the puck is one-on-one. Tries to cut across, still keeps possession. Oh, unlucky with the finish there. Great hands and great stability to get back on his feet.
Yeah, he was all around Carps and undressed him as he got past with the puck.
Big hit there by Buchanan, which allows Birchler to get the puck. He's tries to hit it along the boards, but the Dogs get it out. Carpenter on the blue line looking for the pass, but Birchler gets possession back. He circles round, puts it up wide to Warren, who tries to put it up deep, up to the boards to him. Again, Dogs retain possession. It's a 2-on-1 here with Luke Fisher, but Bakasulis gets the puck and puts it up the boards.
If you notice that Axel was skating right down the middle of the slot, totally unmarked. No Bruins anywhere near him. If they had got the pass across, Mikey James was in trouble.
Nelson with a bit of space there, comes up the middle, but a nice defensive work there by the Dogs. Puck goes back to the Dogs. Carpenter takes it behind the net just to try and slow things down and feeds it around the boards. Dogs still under pressure from the Bruins, but maintain possession. Nice cross pass just to some open ice. Stringer up the ice to Luke Fisher. Ooh, close to being offside, but it's clean. Nice shot and nice glove there by Mikey James.
I think what we've seen there from Astafiev is some great position making. He's evolving into a player who finds space. There's been a couple of times now he's been skating down unmarked. He did score the first goal, and that was a bit of a congested traffic goal, but he's been making a lot of space in front of the slot. The Bruins are not picking him up.
It all starts with his skating. I think he's a great skater, and he's able to pivot, turn, get up and down the ice. Here's Burke, though, with a shot, and that's going to deflect just wide of the net. And Keisha is going to collect it as he gets stick checked there by Barrett, and that'll go down the length of the ice, and we'll have a face-off down the other way.
You're absolutely right, Gossie, but the other thing to remember from what I've seen of his skating is that he's fast and effective, but he's not doing anything fancy.
There we go.
He's just seeing opportunities and getting into them quickly.
That's what I thought. That was right in front of me right there. It looked like a hook there on Keisha by Barrett, and it was a great official there, Craig Armstrong-Frey, able to spot that, and the Bruins are going to go up onto the power play. Desperate for a goal to tie the game, as goal-scoring opportunities have been at a premium so far here in this game.
We are just under 10 minutes to play in the third period in this game that's deciding the first tickets to the grand final.
So here's the Dogs. It's back on the point with Nathan Keisha, sends it over to Pansino, curls away there from Tashuma and sends that down into the corner. First to it will be Evan Karutzelev. He's being rubbed out there by Bennett, but able to find Pansino, who now walks out, has it on the backhand, turns around, puck's loose, and comes out to Warren. Hands up, we're going to have a penalty there. And as the glove save there of Lefkowitz, we will have Bennett go into the penalty for a high stick, and we'll have approximately 1 minute of a 5-on-3 here for the Bruins.
So what
Huge power play.
What you'll see here is a triangle defence that the Dogs will set up. They'll try and maintain the area in front of their goalie, make that a no-go zone for the Bruins, and if they get the puck, they'll just dump it down the other end and try and run their clock down.
I'm not sure if you guys saw that, but Lefkowitz made the glove save, and somehow the puck found its way behind the net.
Oh, no, I didn't see that.
I think they're just making the refs look for it a little bit.
Not that it's a professional foul, but that's a professional foul. 5-on-3 for another 45 seconds.
Jordan Warren asking for the quick face-off. He knows time is critical here.
Yeah.
41 seconds of the 5-on-3, and they want to take as much advantage as they can.
They
know the Dogs are doing a nice slow change.
Just cruising on through. It's always the centre that has to be last to the face-off. Yeah.
Dogs have Jeremy Muir, who's a veteran coach, and he knows how to play this game.
So cleared down the length of the ice, Mikey James out, and he'll leave that for Nathan Keisha. He'll skate out with some speed. There's plenty of space here if you're a Bruin, and they get it through to their captain, Jordan Warren, through with speed. Brings it into the slot, looked across for Lawschuk, and that's going to allow Carpenter to skate it out. Probably a little bit of a wrong opportunity if you're a Bruin. You probably want to set that up when it's 5-on-3 because you know you have so much time and space in the offensive zone.
Well, they go for the big hit there too, which is a bit risky, but they're back down to 5-on-4. If your problem is when you take a hit is not only do you take the player out, you also take yourself out for a few seconds, and you can't afford to do that.
Pansino sends it across over to Keisha. He sends that behind the net for Warren. Warren looks across over for Karutzelev, but just misses that. He sends that up to the point. It's Pansino now sending across to Keisha. Just bobbles it, which allows Knox to come out in forecheck. Pansino circling there, takes it deep. Just being watched there by Barrett, and he'll chip that in, and Barrett finally will get that puck out and skate it through. There's two Dogs now. It's Barrett and Knox. Barrett finds Knox, and Lawschuk gets back and knocks the stick off his stick. Pansino now the other way. It's back and forth hockey on this power play. No real pressure for the Bruins. Pansino takes it behind the net, curls, takes a shot that's high and wide, but Nelson will collect it on the point. He'll wind up, take a shot, deflected, but that deflects right into the netminder as he makes a great save. Big check there by Buchanan, but the puck comes out, and Jamie Burke now with it. We're back to 5-on-5. So great scoring opportunity for the Bruins, 5-on-3, not able to capitalize as they now move to 0-4 on the power play.
That was a huge penalty kill there by the Dogs, and did a great work. They didn't open up and give too many opportunities to the Bruins.
It'll give them a lot of confidence coming through the rest of this game too. When you manage to kill a 5-on-3, you always feel pretty good about it.
Nice job by Stringer. He tried to leave that there for Tashuma, but it knocked out into the neutral zone as the Dogs will just collect it and just bide their time, wait for an opportunity, get the guy skating, and here it comes. Corey Stringer in over the line, winds shot, but right into the chest of the big, bad Bruin, Mikey James.
Yeah, Stringer with the great vision there. The Dogs are starting to get these opportunities. A lot of those breaks, they're not really stretch passes as such. It's not like they're sitting out on the blue line waiting for it, but they're just picking up their wingers who are on the move. And as a result, they're getting those opportunities to get behind the Bruins' defence, which is looking a little stretched.
Face-off won by Tashuma, but Burke chips that forward, and it'll be Bakasulis for the Bruins who collects it behind the net. He'll send that up to Ray Khalil, who'll send that across over for Birchler. He turns on the Jets as he tries to get around Carpenter. He'll take a sharp angle shot. Puck bounces. It's loose. Where's the puck now? It's in the glove of Austin Lefkowitz as we have a few pushes and shoves in front of the Dogs netminder.
It's always going to get affectionate when there's a puck down lost at people's feet.
I wasn't sure if Craig was going to maybe make a call there. It looked like he was gesturing to one of the players, but I think he was just telling him to calm things down a little bit.
Yeah, look at this one. If you see this shot, it bounces out momentarily, and then Leo sends it through, and it was Khalil actually with a hell of a shot and a glove save there by Lefkowitz. Boy, do I love that angle of that CCM all-out replay. It shows everything.
Dogs have possession, but it's been turned over to the Bruins. Passes it back to his defenseman, who manages to get the puck under a lot of pressure, though. A lot of traffic over on that side of the rink. Dogs take it around, a nice pass up the middle, but Knoxie can't quite take control of it. Nelson chips it up. It doesn't quite make it through, but it's held up on the blue line because otherwise it's offside. Dogs again, forechecking hard, looking to put pressure in straight away. Is that a call?
Yeah, Ray Khalil went down and he gestured over to the ref, but I think right call. He was tripped, and let's hope that the Bruins now go into their 5th power play of the evening. They're 0 for 4 so far tonight, but this is definitely...
it wasn't an intentional trip there by any stretch, but the referee has no discretion. If your stick makes your opponent fall over, it's a tripping penalty.
Timeout called by the Bruins there.
Smart timeout by the Bruins. You know that it's a run clock till 3 minutes, so this gives them an opportunity to just pause the clock, get the power play with the full 2 minutes, and then they'll get the stop time if they, regardless if they score or not. The Bruins power play really haven't created much damage by the Dogs. The Dogs have been very, very aggressive, and it's really forced the Bruins to really play off the rush. They haven't really been able to set up and move the puck around, and when they do, the Dogs are collapsing and protecting that.
Well, they're also
also
setting up a good barrier across the blue line and collapsing back into that close box defence. They're doing it very nicely indeed.
So Birchler, Pansino, Warren is forwards for the power play. Nice win there by the Bruins back to the defenseman. Keisha maintains possession, takes the shot but can't quite get through. Troy Robertson takes possession and is moving up and just drops it down deep.
And for those of you watching who are still learning the game, you can see that the rest of the Dogs didn't go with that move. They all stayed back covering it. They know their responsibility is to be defending first in the penalty kill.
Bruins taking unnecessary risks there, like skating up the middle towards the player. Seems like not the logical thing to do on the power play.
This is the story of the evening. Every single time the Bruins seem to get a power play, they get a penalty themselves because of that forecheck of the...
Well, this is going to be a 5-on-3 again for the Bruins.
Oh, sorry. Just the way that Keisha and
I thought it went the way that you saw it too.
Was gesturing. I thought for sure that was a penalty on Keisha, but it's the other way. So we will have a 5-on-3 for a minute.
The Dogs are locked in the kennel, and we'll see that triangle defensive pattern again. They're going to be pressed, but they did do it successfully last time. They managed to keep the Bruins out, but this is a great opportunity. Two-player advantage is huge.
50 seconds of 5-on-3 here, and Bruins definitely want to take advantage.
So face-off one. Here's Pansino, just not able to get it onto the backhand. Hopefully they'll be able to set something up here. Nelson has it on the point, and now they'll build up that power play structure. Good forecheck here. Comes across over to Keisha. He has it. He'll send it over to Nelson. He's got a lane for shooting, but instead he'll send it across, intercepted by Carpenter, and he'll get the puck, and this will allow him to shoot that down the length of the ice.
And Cups actually turns that into a shot on the net and forcing Mikey James to make a save. So good play there, and you'll see again the Dogs not aggressively forechecking here. They're just maintaining center ice and cutting down lanes.
Here's Keisha. He's the one that drew that penalty to put the Bruins up 5-on-3. He takes that into the corner, still with it, being watched by 2 Dogs. And despite only having 3 players on the ice, it still seems like they're outnumbering them on every contest. Warren with the shot and a glove save there by Lefkowitz, and that will put an end to the 5-on-3 as...
And we're also into stop time now as the difference is less than 2 goals. We have stop time. Every stoppage in play stops the clock with 1 minute and 8 seconds to go on the power play and 2 minutes and 14 seconds to go in the game. The Dogs with a 2-1 lead over the Bruins.
This is a long shift for the power play line here. It's still the same players are out on the rink for the Bruins, and I think they have to be careful here. They don't have a deep bench.
And here it is. Matty Knox on a break, in on goal, makes the move, takes the shot. Hell of a save by Mikey James, but he collects the rebound. So Matt Knox killing some precious times. He's got Stringer wide open. Oh, and it just bounces off his stick, but he gets the rebound, another shot, and that goes wide. So on the power play or on the penalty kill, you can call it a power kill. Some great scoring opportunities for the Dogs, but it comes down the other way now. Puck deep in the Dog zone, just under 2 minutes remaining. Keisha has the puck. He'll take that down into the corner, send it there to Nelson, back to the point for Birchler, and he chips that now to Pansino. Pansino twisting around Leo, Back to Birchler. Birchler shoots and a diving block, and here comes Byron Tashuma. A nice back check here by Pansino, but Byron Tashuma cuts around and just couldn't get a stick to it at the gaping net. What a move. Burke back to him. What a goal! Oh my, for a second I thought Mikey James was making a save of the season, but Jamie Burke collects the rebound and puts it in, and that surely punches their ticket straight to the grand final as they look to win their second championship back-to-back.
I'm going to tell you what that was, Gossie. That was the goal of the season. The teamwork and the combination between Schumer and Berkey was just superb. But Mikey James did everything he possibly could. There was nothing he could do there, and it was just perfect read from those two players combining incredibly well. What a magnificent goal.
It's really unfortunate that when a rebound goes in, the goalie doesn't really get the credit they deserve for the save. But that save on Byron Tashuma was world class. Just unfortunate his defense couldn't back him up and clear that puck. But it's been a lot like this, guys. The Bruins, they've played well, but the forecheck of the Dogs, that hunger that you could see from that team, just seemed to take it to the next level, and they're going to go into the grand final. And the Bruins are going to have to be a little careful going up against the Inferno next week.
They certainly will. The Inferno are on a bit of a roll.
So here we are, Lawschuk and Burke battling in the corner, and that's a little wrestling move there by Burke, and he'll for sure get a penalty for that, but he's got to be careful exactly what he's going to get, because that was a little uncalled for there by the Dogs captain.
It was a little judo-esque by the look of it. But 43 seconds now to play. The Dogs will have a penalty by the look of it, and they will be 5-on-4 again.
Well, watch out here, right? 43 seconds.
I reckon
face off in the offensive zone.
Bruins pull the goalie. They go 6-on-4.
Yeah,
they're going to have to.
Yeah.
To be honest, I was surprised they didn't pull the goalie for the
earlier.
previous power play.
Why is Mikey James sitting there now? They got to down the torpedoes and go for it.
Yeah,
and they're not doing that yet. So some very conservative decision making there by the Bruins. Pull Mikey James, guys. Go 6-on-4. It's their only chance.
Again, the Bruins are a team that don't actually have a bench coach, and again, I think that's one of the key differences that you see with the teams that don't have a coach. These sort of decisions aren't being made.
So here's Karutsalev, 30 seconds remaining. It's a pipe dream, but never say never. But with Corey Stringer collecting that puck and depositing it in, I think that'll be it. 20 seconds remaining here as the Dogs go to their second straight grand final here for the Pro Summer Hockey League. One last opportunity. Here's Evan Karutsalev, takes a shot, handcuffs Lefkowitz momentarily, but the rest of it will be all academic, gents. So what do you guys think? You got the Inferno and the Bruins. Talk us up. What are we going to see next week?
Again, I think it's going to be a great game. It's hard to know. I think if Hector for the Inferno turns up for next week's game, I don't know why he's missed the last couple of weeks, but again, he'll be key for the Inferno, but it's going to be a close, tight game, just like this game was today.
And so the Dogs are through. The siren, a formality in the end. The Dogs are through to the grand final in a fortnight. That game will be on Friday the 24th at 7:45 p.m. and then again on Saturday the 25th at 6:30 p.m. And if it's all tied up after that, if it's one game apiece, then the decider grand final for the best of three series will be on Saturday, April the 1st at 6:30 p.m. But before then, we have the semi-final next week, as we was just pointed out. That will be between the Inferno and the Bruins, and it'll be a ripper. That's the staying alive game for those two teams. So something else to remind you of as we wind up for this evening after we've had a fantastic spectacle is our Women's Pro League starting up on June the 2nd, and that's something that we're enormously pleased with here at iceHQ to be able to offer to female hockey players. It's the first time there's been a pro league for the women, and we are thrilled to be able to present that. And after that, we'll also have the Women's Ducks team, which will be playing some exhibition games against some other teams from the AWIHL. And come down and be a part of that. We want to put on a really great show for everyone involved and give them the same show that we gave for the Melbourne Ducks. And if we can do that, it'll be a great thing. We can show the rest of the world just what a show we can put on here at iceHQ and show you some of the best hockey in the country. So from myself, Gossie, and Scott, thank you very much for being with us this evening. Next week at 7:45 p.m. is the semi-final.